Hello everyone, Dr. David Kulla here with Synergy Wellness. I want to go over a different rib cage positioning. Okay, so I showed you how some people have really wide xiphoid processes where the ribs come up and the sternum is wider, okay? This young lady here, she has a rib angle very similar to mine and most of you. Okay, most of you are not going to be guys with barrel chests and really wide. A lot of people have ribs that come up at an angle, and right there is the xiphoid process. So you can see I'm going to outline her ribs with my fingers. See how they're at an angle? Almost looks like a teepee. My hands here look like a teepee, right? Whereas I've had some patients that have xiphoid processes like this. And let me get a better angle. So you can see here, her ribs are like a teepee. If you look at the outline of my fingers here, you'll see that. And we've had some who have a really wide xiphoid process and it's flat. So the ribs come up and then the xiphoid is here and it's wide. It could be 2-3 inches if you're a wide-bodied person, okay? So it really depends on the body type, but hers is typical. You see my fingers coming together at a point right here. So we follow the ribs right up and they meet right here in the center. That is where your xiphoid process is. Okay, now, if you have ribs that come together like this at an angle, then you're gonna wanna watch this video on how to use this device, the Reflux Shield. So if you'll notice, I'm gonna put the Reflux Shield in the angle, but if you look really close, you'll see that that device is not straight like this. It's more at an angle, following the ribs. The reason for that is I want to get underneath the rib, grab onto that stomach, that herniation, the top of the stomach, and pull it down and scoop it down, okay? So you'll see here, again, it's at an angle, it's not flat like this. But what we're gonna do is, while she's going into the maneuver, she's gonna go from park position. We always wanna start with it leaning forward this way, like in the park position, as if this is a stick, an automatic car. And then we go to neutral once we have the pressure in there, the proper pressure to drive. And notice, this device is at an angle. So when you go to scoop it down, you wanna twist this way. So you're twisting counterclockwise and then sliding down. And you'll notice this is flat now, or I should say level, right? When we started up here, it's at an angle. As we go through the motion, we just turn the ball handle here, just a slight turn, just so you can flatten it out and have this whole flat surface pulling on the stomach. The wider the surface area, the better. So if you're going at an angle like this, then you're gonna slide it down and you're gonna have less surface area. This surface area is less than this. You want this whole surface area here to glide over the skin when you go from park, neutral, drive first, and then sliding it down. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the whole process from start to beginning. If you have dry skin, you can put a little bit of lotion here, or even Vaseline will work. I would use lotion so you don't get your clothes messed up with Vaseline. And we're going to go ahead and I'm gonna have her put one hand on it. Then you're gonna go ahead and put the other hand on it. Great. And she's gonna press in, and then when she's at that right pressure, that, you know, where it's enough pressure for her, and if you feel any pulsation, remember, you wanna pull back a little bit. Don't use as much pressure. That's your abdominal aorta pulsating like that. And then we're gonna go from park to neutral to drive. And as she does that, she's gonna twist the ball handle slightly to her left. Just, there you go, perfect. And you can see, you might not be able to see it, folks, but her device is now flat. So you can see here, it's horizontal with her pelvis. And then you'll slide down just to about the belly button. And when you get near the belly button, you can lighten up on the pressure because it gets really sensitive. So I'm gonna show you in slow motion with one hand so the hand isn't in the way. So we go like this, we start at an angle, go from park to neutral to drive to first, and then it starts sliding down. Now, look right now, see how it's twisted? It's sort of at an angle that way, you know, we're gonna just twist the ball handle just slightly as we push down. And that straightens this and levels out this applicator. Again, this is only for people that have ribs that are at a sharp angle and the xiphoid process comes to a point right here. If you have ribs that come up out here and then your xiphoid process is long or wide, I should say, then you just start in the middle and you start in this horizontal position and slide down. There's nothing you need to do as far as twisting. If you have the steep rib angles like this and you have a xiphoid process right in the middle, but you could feel, see, I could feel her left ribs just here, and then I could push to the right and I could feel her right rib there. There's barely enough space for me to put my fingertip in. If you're one of those people, again, you're gonna go under that rib to the left, just slightly to the left of the xiphoid process, and you start at an angle with the ball facing towards your knees. You go to neutral, maintaining that pressure, neutral, then again, drive and first. And now as I'm doing that, see, I'm turning, I'm twisting this device just to get more of a surface area, because this is going to be a wider surface area than doing it at an angle like this, right? So we've just doubled the surface area to correct the hiatal hernia. And again, you always want to start with this ball facing the knees at an angle here. So I've got it at a 45-degree angle from her belly button, okay? So this ball is right over the belly button, again at a 45-degree angle. And then when you're ready, after you've got that pressure, enough pressure, it could take a minute or two, you're gonna then go to neutral to drive, and then just twist it to your left, just slightly, not even a quarter of a turn, very slight, and then scoop down. I hope that helps, and I hope that helps you identify different shapes that we all have of our rib cage and our xiphoid process.